Hey, check it out, dude. I got me a Strat. That ain't no Strat. That's a Squire. No. It's a Strat. Look at it. It's a Strat. No. That's a Squire. A Squire. A Squire. Are you sure about that?
By the way, everybody, we is live.
By the way, everybody, we is It looks like we're rolling. Alright guys, this video is being thrown together. Thrown together, or pulled together, to make a cohesive whole. So let's get into it. Squire, dude. We is live. It's good to be here. At the beginning of this week, I didn't think this was going to be happening, but circumstances turned out to where it became something inevitable, and that was to get my hands on the famous Amazon Strat. Oh, it's not a Stratocaster, it's a Squire. It's a Strat. It's made by the same company. It's just called a Squire. That doesn't mean it's not a Strat. Now, even right here, I want to show you this. Well, first, let's do what we traditionally do. Let's not rush things, okay? I have a can of lime seltzer water and a toast. Shall we? I say yes. A toast to cheap Fender guitars, because that's what these are, my friends. This one and the one in the box here. So, with no further ado, let us crack this open. And down the hatch. Woo! This stuff has a kick.
Okay, so to start off with, right here is a Squire Bullet from the 1990s. This is my Squire Bullet, which I bought in New York City, and it's beat up, guys. I'll show it to you. I'm going to get the camera and put it here and show it to you. Okay, right there you can see Squire Bullet, and I think that's actually rosewood that you see, and this was not relicked in any way. It just actually became beat up in shipping and storage. You've got a ding here and a big mark there and a mark there and here and there and there, you know, and this knob is broken. I think it's broken. I taped it down.
Excuse me, that's the seltzer water.
Anyway, when I left New York and came out here to Ohio, and essentially left show business so that I could be here and take care of my aging parents. I lost my father a year ago last January. My mother's 84. She was in the hospital last week, and she's currently in physical rehab at a nursing home. And I'm primary caretaker to her, and so my time's filled up. I have a regular job, and I'm trying to take care of my mother and so forth. And so when I left show business to come out here and take care of them, it was just natural to revert back to guitar playing, which I don't think I'm that good at, but you know, that's because I know how much I don't know, if you know what I mean. I'm pretty well familiar with how much I don't know about how to play guitar. And as I said before, I don't play guitar for other people. I'm not in a band. I don't post videos of myself playing. I'm not interested in how many clicks I can get and that sort of thing. It's therapy. I play guitar almost purely for the delight of making music and personal therapy. And I said in my last video, you know, I like to start each morning. I drink that first cup of coffee and bam, I'm straight into playing guitar because it helps. It's called tabula rasa, and it means a clean slate. And so that's how I like to start each day. I played for 45 minutes at least this morning. But anyway, when I came back here to Ohio, all of my equipment's in storage, and it's buried deep in a storage container, and I can't get to it. So I had to buy a new amp and new guitars and new pedals and cables and all that sort of thing. And I've been playing around with the pedals, and I got a compressor for the first time, not really knowing how to use one, and you know, trying to get a sustain, and you know, I don't really have time to take these Gibsons and other cheaper guitars to luthiers to have more expensive pickups installed. So I tried to cheat that, and I bought boost pedals, you know, to give that oomph into the signal, you know, before it makes its way over to the amp and so forth. And that's worked, actually. That's pretty much worked. You know, it can't replace getting a high quality pickup, but it's a way around that for now, right? So I'm playing around with my pedals and trying to get different sounds and build sustain. So I play with the chorus, and I've got an overdrive and the compressor, and I'm trying to make it sustain so the note lasts. And you know, one of my top favorite, if not my favorite guitarist, is Robin Trower. And I've seen him many times. I met him a few times. Very nice guy, and you know, he's the king of note bending, right? And at the beginning of this week, I realized I had kind of stumbled on to a tone that it reminded me of Robin Trower. Not that it was perfect and it mimicked Robin. I could never touch Robin's talent. And anyway, I'm not talking about talent. I'm just talking about the sound coming out of the amp, right? And I was playing a Les Paul copy at the time. Really impressed with the kind of sustain I was getting with using the chorus and the overdrive and, you know, noise gate and all this stuff to try to get maximum effect out of the pedals and the amp and so forth. And I started getting some of that sustain that I was looking for. And I said, well, you know, and I bought that. You might see in addition to that, I did the video on the Donner Strat, right? Now the Donner Strat's a great guitar, it plays great and so forth. And we're talking about pickups here, right? And those pickups on that Donner guitar, it just can't handle the amount of overdrive I'm putting the signal through. and I play with headphones on so I don't disturb other people here. And I'm just getting too much feedback. Even with the noise gate, I'm getting too much feedback on that darn guitar. So I said to myself, I know what to do. I'll go to storage. I'll get my Bullet from the 90s and see if that can fix this problem. And I just didn't even plug it in. This thing is so beat up and worn out, and one of the saddles broke a long time ago, and you know, this knob needs fixed, and it just seemed beat up. And then I remembered all this praise about this guy right here. This guy right here, which is the famous Amazon Strat. It's not a Strat, it's a Squire. Yeah, I know. We all know that. Okay, but the thing is this particular guitar has been getting a lot of attention on YouTube and abroad on the internet. And people are raving about it. They really like it. They say, hey, this is a good guitar. It's an answer that Fender has to all the other budget guitars out there that are really kind of stealing the industry from the giants, you know, Fender, Gibson, and all the others. So in my effort to chase down this Robin Trower tone, which I don't know what he uses for pedals or effects or anything. I do know he plays through Marshall amps because he's been right in front of me. One show in New York City at an old place called Tramps, I was in the front row. He was just right there in front of me. And he was playing with Marshall half stacks. And by the way, this was so loud, no kidding, I couldn't hear properly again for 4 days after that concert. And, you know, I'm a sober guy, right? And after the concert, I went home and I called Elizabeth because in those days it's New York City. I had my New York City apartment. She had her house in Staten Island, and I called her up after the show because, you know, we love each other, and she wants to know if I'm okay. You know, just call me and let me know you're okay. So I call her in. I can't hear myself talking. She thought I had been drinking or I was on drugs or something because my voice sounded so funny. But it sounded funny because I couldn't hear from the concert. It was so loud. Robin Trower really plays loud. And Tramps was not, it's a different thing now, where Tramps was on West 21st Street. Okay, but anyway, I'm chasing that Robin Trower tone, and I want to be able to get that sustain on the notes. And he plays Strats, right? That's why that Bullet was white. It's because on the cover of Robin Trower Live from, what, 76? Is that when that album came out? He's playing a white Strat. And so this didn't come in white. So this is supposed to be the matte finished sunburst or whatever burst you want to call it. That's what this is supposed to be. So anyway, let's get into it, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
Trusty buck knife here, and from what I've seen, this should be fairly easy to get into. Just gonna put this here, and right? See how easily that opens up? And I think that's all I'm going to need to do, right? Because I should just be able to pull this right out. Well, I should. Keyword should. Here we go. Okay, there we go. All right. You can take this off. And take this out of here. This just looks like the equivalent of an owner's manual. I'll put that right here so I don't lose it. And I'm just looking to see if there's an Allen wrench or anything, and there's nothing in here. Okay. Oh, here it is. It's up at the top. Whammy bar and Allen wrench. Here we go. And your journey starts now. Yeah, it starts now. See that? So, this is a thick styrofoam. It's nice. I can see that headstock that everybody loves so much. It says Squire Stratocaster. And just like the bald shredder says, it's a Strat. It's a Strat that's called a Squire, and yes it is. It's the matte burst. Okay, let me go ahead and take this out of here, and this is that silica, whatever it is, for moisture. All right, take this out of here. And then there's one little piece of styrofoam right here on this knob. Okay. And it feels pretty good. These knobs, I've had other guitars on the Gibsons where there's more resistance, and I'm not criticizing that on this guitar. These seem to be completely okay. Volume, tone, and I'm going to grab the camera and bring it closer right now. See, your journey starts now. Squire, beautiful headstock, famous Fender headstock. I think this is called Laurel for the fretboard. It just looks like some kind of wood, which is very nice. Now, to be honest, I can feel these frets as I go up and down. I can feel every single one of them on the left and the right hand side. Not that they're sharp. I don't think I would cut myself on them, but they could be filed down just a little bit and made a little smoother. But what do you want? This was 139 bucks. And by the way, you guys, this same guitar was on sale last December for 99 bucks, a Christmas sale. And I didn't buy it because I thought, oh, I've got too many guitars. I don't have enough room for them all. You know, the same thing we all go through. And now I have it, so I don't have to think about it. There's a Squire Telecaster I'd like to get my hands on that has a maple fretboard. I'd like to get my hands on that. But this is what the matte finish looks like. And it's flat, you know. No glossy texture or appearance to it at all. And I think it's going to play nice. Everyone's talking about how thin this is. It's thinner than, you know, an actual Strat. And let's just test out these tuners real quick. How are they? Okay, they're tight. Overall, I think they're going to be pretty good. Okay. Now, normally I would wait until I had the guitar case and go ahead and unbox the guitar case at the same time. I've done that on a few different videos, but the thing of it is time is tight. I think we're crooked. Are we crooked? I think we're crooked. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. I hope that's okay. No, this is not an episode of Batman from the 1960s, you know. Anyway, time is tight. I usually only get to play for that hour or less in the morning, and then I don't get to play anymore because I get home from work, and a lot of times there's only enough time to grab something to eat so that being hungry won't prevent sleep. And then I have to go to sleep and then get up and go to work again. So there just isn't a lot of time. I happen to have today off from work, yes, but there's a lot going on, and I just want to be able to plug this in and just see what I can do with it. Just experiment around. That's what this whole thing is about for me. It's about experimenting. And just, it's like from that old Pink Floyd movie, Live at Pompeii, when David Gilmour was saying, you know, what happens when you get 4 guys together with a bunch of equipment and see what you can do with it. Well, that's kind of the idea here, is to just, I bought all those pedals, and I got a lot of pedals. I got them from Temu. A lot, not, well, some of them came from eBay, but I got a lot of pedals, and I'm just changing things around and seeing what works, what doesn't work, which guitar sounds best with which setup. And like I said, I stumbled upon this Robin Trower-like sound, and so now I will have a chance to go ahead and just see. And I know it's a cheap guitar, and I know Robin obviously is playing high-quality guitars, and this in no way will compare to what Robin Trower has done in his career or what he's doing now. He's just such a good guitarist, so expressive, not boring to me. And hey, it's a Strat, it's a Squier, it's a Squier. It's a Strat, it's a Squier. So it's a very similar guitar in some ways to a full-blown Strat. But as the Bald Shredder points out, it says right there, Stratocaster. It just also happens to say Squier. Both are made by Fender. So this is not a Chender guitar. This actually came from the Fender company. And lastly, I just want to comment and say, as far as I know, these guitars are still an Amazon exclusive. So apparently you can't go to GuitarCenter.com or Sweetwater or Reverb unless they're selling used. You can't buy it new at these places. If you want it new, you have to go to Amazon. And I bought this at 139 bucks. I happen to have a $50 off coupon. Okay. But the selling price was 139, and you know, given enough time, it's going to be 149 or 159. And something like this, the longer you wait, the more, and I found out the hard way, right? The longer you wait, the more it's going to cost. So now I've got it. I have it.
So now I've got it.
And I'm psyched to take it in there where I play and see what happens. So that's it. And as we usually say at the end of these videos, that's all, folks.
That's all, folks.